platform is yours. You have to hold.
Thokoza. Ngiyabonga khehla. Ngizicelele nje ukuthi angangibeki later in terms of ama speakers ngoba asilalanga. Ukhehla kept us the whole night. Besilindele indlovukazi nephet umvikelikazi. The whole night sikhalise igubhu la. It was a party impela igubhu. Siyabonga khehla. Thokoza. Ngibonge na wonke umuntu okhona ngaphakathi. Siyesithi la emagcekeni uma unyathela la esigodlweni usilethela inhlanhla. Ukunyathela nje kwakho kujabula amadlozi. Siyabonga kakhulu makhehla. Ngibonge ke nabantu abasincedisile ukuthi leli langa libe possible because without assistance ne support yabantu some of the initiatives abantu abamnyama aziyindawo. Why? Because unfortunately the minute we amass wealth as black people we prioritize other things. You know, instead of making sure that your people, African people, as the people that have suffered so much in terms of, you know, their mental, situation, we've been affected by the past. So it is the responsibility and duty of all Africans. Uguti, when you amass wealth, try ukuthi assist movements that are trying to rebuild the character of an African person, because that character has been destroyed so much. There's very much little left in terms of salvaging. Yingakho we are saying ukuthi the only solution is to build a parallel system, because we will never be able to reconstruct our identity, true identity as African people, as long as we still have hope ukuthi this system that we operate under will actually be a solution for us. Yinto engeke yenzakale leyo. So I from ngaphakathi enhlizweni ngiyabonga to all the sponsors that made it possible. Ngisho nalabo abafake i-R50 to say makhehla nami ngicela ukuregister ukuthi busiso zikamvikelikazi unepthet meziza nelami igama libe likhona, because unepthet ubheka inhliziyo yakho. Ungakhipha i-R5 kepha uma uyikhiphe uyazi it's the last one, but you are saying I would rather ngilale ngadlanga but make sure ukuthi lo moya is fulfilled. Siyabonga kakhulu. Ngibonge unhlanhla. Siyabonga khehla. Not only have you taken it upon yourself ukuthi uyazi unhlanhla ufike la, it was 1 week. After a week, he was teaching other people who were hey, I'm but I'm talking to someone, but I can hear him. He's articulating lendosi pushayola. So, commitment, I combisile right from day one. It was like yinto vele be loko imlindile. Yaze yamthola, ya resonator immediately, because he was able ukuthi I understand yonke lento esikhuluma ngayo bese ke uyayipractice abanye abantu bayakhuluma nje but in terms of action nothing happens. So ngibonge kakhulu Nhlanhla ngibonge naku ubaba Mahlangu siyabonga kakhulu Khehla siyabonga kakhulu ubaba Mahlangu kuthe uyazi ngiyajabula ukuthi ukhona namhlanje ngoba we spent the last days. I can confirm and say Indlovukazi uZinzi was happy because she was in the presence of people that truly loved her. Ujabu was one of the people every day before Ashiya Indlovukazi. Ujabu was there no Madlom, making sure ukuthi she's taken care of. Ngiyabonga kakhulu baba Mahlangu ukuthi namhlanje ukhumbulile ukuthi lo moya uyaphila. Umzimba usabonakali. We are not able to see the flesh, but we know ukuthi spiritually angeke azafe. Because na science yasho you can't destroy energy. Energy lives forever. So the fear that we have thina singabantu abamnyama size siyongena emasontweni ngoba sifuna ukungcwatshwa umfundisi injalo umuntu abe worried nje ukuthi ne man if ingaye esontweni ngeke ngcwabe. It's true and you don't need that. Angeke mina ngumhlongwane ngiyokhuluma idlozi la kwaSithola kunamvume yokwenza lokho. So these are the things ezenze ukuthi sithabathe lo msebenzi and be serious in terms, because this is not a joke what we are doing. We're trying to reconstruct the identity yomuntu omnyama, to bring back that self, the worthiness ukuthi I am the best. Because nothing compares to your an African person. Scientifically proven, we are the best. Why? Because we're the firstborns. We're able to intake carbon that then manifests into melanin. Sayithola yonke ingakho bebesithuka ngale khala yethu. They would insult us, you are dirty. And yet we have, more of it divineness in our system. So we're trying to remove all those things so that we go back. We might not see it, but now senzela laba ukuthi bakhule bazazi ukuthi they are Africans, not confused. People awazi ukuthi umephi lo muntu bathi inlento umhlophe unjani maybe describe ama Oreos. Umnyama ngokomzimba kepha ngaphakathi umhlophe. Yonke into yenzayo nje resonate na everything that is against umuntu omnyama. Ukugula lokho. Ukugula. And the mere fact ukuthi we have to depend on people that understand and share the vision with us when we have to do this work. This is government work. Umsebenzi we-government. But manje, i-government, if they are ignorant of these things, a simple thing, a calendar. How do you build a nation without your calendar? Because you are then forcing your children to be perpetual slaves when the time is determined by somebody else, not yourself. It means ukuthi uzolokhu ulandela lo muntu make just guqa. Now we are guqa. That's exactly what we are doing on Friday. Foolishness. Siguqa ngoba umlungu uthe siyaguqa. Kepha ukuthi nature, what does nature say? Huh? In nature ithi thina la southern hemisphere asiguqi. On the southern hemisphere, in nature says on the 23rd, like namhlanje, the sun and earth are closest. And the sun is giving us enough hydrogen to sustain ourselves until this period again. It has nothing to do nokuzalwa of a physicality. I mean, there are so many people who get born, but nobody is special to that point ukuthi mela celebrate. What we are celebrating, what has been given birth, it's hydrogen. It's being pumped because of the proximity of earth, and the sun. So that is the energy that uNeptune umvilike is protecting, because that is the energy yama prince and princesses, amakhosi namakhosikazi. This is the month, Yobkhosi, where we celebrate our royalty, because ilanga Inkosi, the king is supposed to represent the sun on earth. And the moon is represented by, Indlovukazi esigodlweni. That's the duality of nature. So manje, abelungu basisusile lapho. And they calendar bayenza, they made it something that make you think that it just deserves to be mounted on the wall. Ulokhu ubheka nje, angithi sebekwenze robot. Uvuke ekseni ukuthi eliphi lelanga, what day is it? Umlungu uthini? Huh? Hey. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that, because sesifana nama robots. Hey. Asakwenzi konke lokho kumele ngabe siyakwenza. So i-calendar for us, it's a living instrument that gives us the ability to understand the laws that govern nature. When you understand that, then everything yakho yaflow, because you are going chokuthi cover the natural flow of energy. Akuthi energy mayale wena because umlungu uthe uyangapha. Mawubheka yonke iAfrika, abantu abamnyama yithi esithandaza ukudlula bona labelungu laba abasilethelele inkolo yabo. Ha? Thina mesibhizi lapha similindelo Christmas Eve, bona base beach. Hey, they gave you this, doctrine, but abayilandeli nabo wena sowubambelele ngoba umlungu uthe ukugula komqondo. Kakhulu. Manje ke makhehla, remember ukuthi silokho thina each and every season ine explanation yayo, and based on the proximity between earth and the sun. Okay, right. Time is determined by, our rotation around the sun. Hey, so in September, sitheni on the equinox, right? Meidlula lapho from the 21st to the 23rd. Meaning ukuthi on the 23rd on September, ilanga crosses the imaginary line of the equator and makes 1 degree southwards. Meaning ukuthi isikhathi sokuthi sitshale imbewu, we must put the seeds on the soil, right? Then ngo-October, lawo seeds ayaqhuma. That is the second month of the African year. And as we are not thumb-sucking it, it's there. It correlates with what you can see in nature. Hey. So, iyaqhuma-ke lembewu, bese-ke uJehuti, that is Heru, umvundisikazi, the nurturer, meaning ukuthi the energy, it nurtures. That is why you'll find that around about that time, kuba neimvula. Lezo imvula brings sustenance, for iy'tshalo, for ourselves. but because we are no longer, conscious of in nature. Sesingama robots. We are no longer aware. Even if skin sakho siyabuna or something, happens, changes or wabona physical, that signifies a change of a season. Awusakunaki lokho. Hey, that's how far we've gone as abantu abamnyama. So then the third month, the month of Jehuti, the month of intelligence, intellect, fuses in again that power to make this seed, eyakhuma ngo-October, to then now develop my roots and firm itself on the ground. Then we come to this season, which is the fourth month of the African year. It's the month that represents maturity. It represents maturity, meaning the budding now of, the trees develop leaves, budding for getting ready for flowers now to show up. Right? Hey. So, Unepted is that principle that deals with everything that is physical on earth. Umzimba wako is given sustenance by this principle called Unepted. Yikho sithi umvikeli kazi. Uprotector zonke ingane ezizalwa at that time. She's the protector. She's not the mother, because the mother will offset her sister. And this combination is very important for us, because these are the energies. One is going up and one is going down, la on your spine. This thing we call umbilini. Ubab Credo always told us about umbilini. Mandiati kundalini. Yes. Hey, all that nervous system. Kunama pipe I3. Kunale amandia bizani pingali or something like that. And the shushuma. Then there's the central one. The central one yizo ezihlangana, meaning ukuthi kunyuka the male and female energy iyoshaya le phezulu. But manje, abagade that sensitive area. For ngoba uyezwa ukuthi mawulimala spinal cord, we are shown sometimes or be deformed. Because that energy is not supposed to be disturbed. Is protected by Oset and Unepted, umvikelikazi. So umvikelikazi ke uprotector ke that energy engishilo ukuthi that manifests today on the 23rd, because of ilanga is closest part today. The sun begins its journey towards the north. Namhlanje. Meaning ukuthi sizobonga elangeni kumveli nqangi, our creator, but also bid farewell, because manje uqala uhambo, beginning the journey moving towards the northern hemisphere. So in the northern hemisphere bona Christmas yabo now. Why? Because they are, it's the day of hope for them. Because the sun now is starting the journey to return to the northern hemisphere. The same thing for us yenzakala ngoJune, on the 21st of June. That is the most furthest point of Earth vis-a-vis the sun. It's at its southernmost point, but on that day, on the 21st, it makes a U-turn. Yingakho kuthiwa is the day of hope. Because manje everything phela, when the sun is away from us, nothing grows. siyabona nathi siyagodola. It means ukuthi the sun is in hibernation. We also are supposed to be in hibernation and do everything that concerns umoya, the spirit. Hey, because okwamanje makuma sifika la ku September, we move away from things that deal with the spirit. We now concentrate on things of physical. Hey, because it's renewal. After the latent period of winter, it dryness. So now in September, it's now returning. Asa yikosimbiza which is the green god. Because when the sun and earth, or the sun or earth getting closer to the sun, ubona ngani ngokuthi kube green. Remember ukuthi chlorophyll is the same substance, carbon. To us, you know, it manifests as melanin, but to plants, green. And when they talk, in the past, we used to have that color, green. Hey, yingakho ingane namhlanje mezizalo kuba nombalo green somewhere here in the back. Most of abantwana bazalwa naleyo nto. But now, because of the violation, the things that we eat, and also what abelungu do in terms of interfering with the universe, you know, because now okokobati, we were sustained by the energy of the sun, hydrogen. We didn't need food. But now, because of yonke le pollution eyenzakalayo, you know, we are no longer getting that. Yingakho ke angithi insimbi ya rust. So the iron in our body irastile, yingakho sesiyithola si lombala. But our original color was green like everything else on earth. Hey. So because of the violation, so much violation, the food, aslali, yonke lento le. We are violating in nature, we are violating our bodies. But nakhona, because of the consciousness, we never knew. Do you understand? So that is why okhokho bethu, they insisted to know yourself. Education yokuqala that we're supposed to receive, it's about learning about ourselves and nothing from the outside. So manje basinikeza everything from the outside to confuse us. They kill us. Kahle kahle. Ngoba ugcina ubelieve ukuthi wena wisdom, you are stupid. We are not able to understand what the teacher is saying. The teacher is simply bringing something foreign to you. The teacher is supposed to mine and polish the diamond that is within you before akulethela anything that is foreign to you. Hey, so now uNeptet sisazokhuluma ngaye a lot, you know, because it's a very, very, very powerful, you know, energy. Remember, Guti, uNeptet is part of the Ennead. The Ennead are the active agents that are representing Amun-Ra as the first atom before any other creation. That is what emerged from the waters of abyss we called Nun. Okokobeti bathi ukhulukhulwane, because ukhulukhulwane engulfs everything. It's like we are in a big la kuhlala amafish aquarium. Hey, because the air we breathe is still water. Hey, what you know, into ehlukanisayo is the degree of grossness. Lo moya lo vibrator at a very high, you know, frequency than amanzi la siwabona empompini. But it's the same thing. Yingakho there's a technology today to harness water from, you know, the air. Hey, angazi noma Nkosana bowukhuluma ngaleyo nto. You told me about it. Yeah, they're white people. White people again. They just jumped on it. Hey, so bahana sage, amanzi, wuti, we can't have a shortage of water when there's air. It makes sense. Hey, if only we understood, if foundation je life, we would have. Ingako besikhuluma nabo kehla ukuthi we need ukuthi le ngane lezi naye incane nabo ziqule lama principle le crash bakhule nayo le science because it is science. Hey, bakhule nayo from that age. When you understand as a person ukuthi there's only one element in the universe, your understanding changes. Ngoba umlungu confuses you. Presenter helium as something completely different from everything else. Can there is 3 or 4 portions of hydrogen? You talk about carbon is the same thing. 6 portions of hydrogen. That was a study done by Professor Oyibo from Nigeria, who resolved ukuthi angithi yabo Einstein nalo munye ubani. These other scientists yabelungu beyisebenza no Einstein ubani? Newton. Bahamba kulomhlaba without resolving. Angazi le equation, angazi bayibeka whatever 2 square whatever. But they were not able to resolve mathematically and scientifically ukuthi these 4 energies esikhuluma ngazo, from the 4 corners of the world, they collapse into what? They couldn't solve that, a problem. But Professor Oyibo was able to solve it. Why? Because naye who contacted the most oldest, a script written, on stone. It's called the Shabaka stone. You guys must read about the Shabaka stone, because it contains all the scientific and mathematical, work of our ancestors. Abo Einstein they studied umtomnyama and not undermine umtomnyama. They wouldn't reinvent the wheel. Because of Kokobetu, Lendo discover Belung, they long knew it. They long knew it. So Gubangati Manja Abo Einstein and Abo Einstein were students of Imhotep. Imhotep was one of our gurus, the first doctor, the first architect. The first person to build with stone. The step pyramid Egypt. So Imhotep, even Nalega Pythagoras. Plagiarism again. Pythagoras is credited, but it all came from Imhotep. And he was talking about Asa, Oset, Heru. Asa being the 3, Oset stability 4, and Nale 5. Baby sign. Yes, in that right angle triangle. And the Mao calculator zonke ziyahlangana. It makes 25. So that is the work of our ancestors. Abo Imhotep, Amunhotep, all those great scientists. Ubab Credo, for me, is a physical manifestation, or was a physical manifestation of Imhotep. There's nothing that Ubaba didn't know. He was the best sculptor. He was the best builder. Ubab Credo built a pyramid using grass, man. La Jablan, go there. It's there. Emile, perfect angle. Ubab Credo was an engineer. Ubab Credo can tell you, I can build you an engine manje aeroplane. Yes. Ayikho into bengayazi Ubab Credo. That's why vusa amazulu. Vusa amazulu. Vusamazulu. Hey, ingakho is akasekho but umoya wakhe continues to teach me. Why? Because I still connect kuye. I still rely on him. Hey, ngiyazi nje mengisenkingeni ngifuna solution. I meditate and engage him. Voila. Hey. So, Ila, that's what he taught me. Everything is taught in your subconscious. Everything. And the subconscious, when you talk about the subconscious, it's khuluma ngezulu. You remember I spoke about that state of a noon, where the protons, electrons, they were still, grouped together before differentiation. So your subconscious is there. That's why you are able to dream. Uphume uhambe uye China ubuye usitshele ekseni. Ubuye usitshele ekseni. Kuthi hey man khona isifo esizayo sibuya kulabani. Singakumameli njengoba Credo because we never listen to him. Then we suffer the consequences. Kunini asiwona ubaba Credo? For a long time. So ubaba Credo ke kahle it was not me only. It was with Ndlovukazi. 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 Nokai. Nokai. It was with Ndlovukazi that motivated, to tell you the honest truth, how I got to Kemet. I noticed or I heard Uguti, she was obsessed with wearing something elenga la isasumntwana. And she was obsessed with Tutankhamun. Hey, right at a very early age. Then I go to Mamwini ngithi kuye, but ibuya happy le story. Umamwini athi hey angazi mkhulu lo mntwana ulokha nje ever since awumntwana. Hey, that is when Tinage, we're still together, si sonta somewhere, sontweni lesphiri. Sibuya lapho. Hey, ngibuya esipirini mi. I'm from there. Hey, icheni yami yes, hey, ngibuya la, we're together there. Awu mamfundisi. Sigqoka amakotoyi. Namabhanda bomvu. Hey, then mengizwa leso story. That is what triggered my interest kakhulu into understanding and knowing about Tutankhamun. And when I got to Kemet, man, I was satisfied. Because the Kemet made sense. It gave me so much clarity. Ukuthi singobani thina singabantu abamnyama. And the fact ukuthi I heard ukuthi Kemet didn't start in Egypt. Kemet started here. Khona the son kaThulu ubesitshela ukuthi izolo he went to different camps because ebekele ikolo lezi zasedropeni. So they would take them to different camps. Uthi everywhere he went, there were biogma caves and whatever. There were inscriptions, the hieroglyphics. Here, more than one place, which then proves that Kemet started here. That is why we have the oldest pyramids, older than the pyramids of Giza. Hey. So, abantu ke, when you talk about Kemet, then it's, it's angithi manje they've been indoctrinated, there's a story eBhayibhelini esithi kahle kahle uFaro Satan ugqilaze abantwana bakaNkulunkulu. Huh? How can ingane be more important to the creator than the father? Umlungu ingane kuwe, iJuda ingane kuwe. They can be important. If the creator, wants to be, generous and be, favoring. Uzofavor wena muntu omnyama. Because for the creator to consciously know of itself, it created you. Yes. Then you birthed everybody else. The first calendar in the world was devised by African people. But if ubuka the whole continent, sihamba ngecalendar yabantu base West. That's absurd. Ukuthi icontinent igule yonke ngokufana. Kungabi ne-leader nje ehluzekile la ekhanda eyibuzayo lento ukuthi kahle kahle ngenzani ngilo ngiguqa nge-25 zika December yini lengiyenzayo. Yilabantu ke who have normalized colonization. They have, and they are not even prepared to go back and resuscitate izinto zabo. But it's okay. Sengizofa anyhow. That's a very selfish statement because we are called ukuthi ushiya ingane. I-decision oyenza namhlanje izogqilaza ingane into the future. Hey. So unepted for mina ngingathi ngumexperiencile in physical, in physicality because of Uzinzi. Uzinzi is born on this day. Hey. So when I read the characteristics of that principle unepted, remember Gucci, these are principles. They are not physical people that lived on earth. It's the energy that emanates from the sun. Isehla nanamhlanje beyehlelo khokho nanamhlanje sekhona ilinde thina kuthi ngidayile man ngidayile, raise your vibrational frequency to mine, and we are always resisting thina. Huh? Hey, so yikho ngithi uzinzi indlovukazi angazi man lo muntu beke special, very special. Huh? Loyal to a fault. Umuntu beke nga sacrifice, and I keep seeing these things in some of the people I interact with. Uzinzi will take the last 10 rands and give it to somebody ohluphekayo. Then abuye kimi athi Mkhulu sinenkinga. Cabanga ke mina mele ngiyotabalaza ke. Leyo 10 rand to replace that thing. So ipain yomunye umuntu bemhlala kabi ubene ngisixhosa bathi intoni nimba. Hey, umuntu, I don't know, I really don't know, but all I know ukuthi this principle unepted mina ngi-experiencile through uzinzi. Hey, which then is very important for us when we try to go back, understand the principle you were born under. Where was the sun when you were born? On which day? You are then able to determine even italent lakho. Hey, italent okumele uphile ngalo, because when you don't live by that, you are violating the most natural law of nature. Ukuthi when you were born to express this, but when wenzi lento elanga phakathi kuwena, uphizi uyakhenika lapha ushayi insimbi, and yet you supposed to ukuthi wena uyohlinza lapha inhliziyo zabantu. You are doing something which is completely out of, akuna resonance between what is happening in your life nezulu, because you are out of alignment. When into wrong, yingakho ke kuthiwa isithelo esinga oyigatsha elingatheleli liyanqunywa. Amakhehla mebekubona ukuthi wena uyawavalela bayanquma. Hey, why? Because awulesihlahla esithelelayo. So ukuze sithelele uyanquma utrima amagatsha lapha igatsha elingatheleli nqu gone even sazi ke ukuthi death thina ubaba Credo says we welcome death ingane emezalwa besikhala. Why? Because this soul is going to be tormented by the demands of this fleshy nook, our bodies. That's what we live for. Forgetting ukuthi umzimba ucreatewe umoya. Hey, there was spirit first before this physicality. Hey. So ngiyabonga kakhulu ngikhonile ukufika kulezinga. I thought I'll be sleeping whilst giving this lecture. Hey, because of ubumnandi bayizolo, it was very spiritual. Izolo, it was very spiritual. Yazi namhlanje, that's why imvuli so. Hey, because besibamemeza the whole night. Hey, sibonga. Eh umveli nqangi nomkhubulwane ukuthi asinikeze leli thuba nje ukuthi si express our spirituality. So Ndlovukazi ngazi ke ukuthi ngahlehla ngizolindela lentuza ama questions. Please engage ungaphumi la ungacacisekanga. You must be clear uzwani ke i-calendar esiyuzayo. It's nothing new. Yinto besiyuza before kufika belungu. Hey, mawungazibuza ke in your own language ukuthi September uthini. In Sizulu September sithi uzibandlela. No. September uzibandlela, uDecember uzibandlela. Umandulo September, meaning which we are going back, to a point where we started the previous year. Science okhokho bethu. Hey, even the concept kamvelinqangi goes back to the concept of atom, the first atom, which grew by division. Because that's what atom, does. It grows by dividing. Hey, so please, ngicela si engage calendar, interact nale calendar, because that is when you will reap the benefits. Ukupahla sipahla every morning tina ngo-6, and that helps because it increases your vibrational frequency so that it links up with the prevalent energy we call the principle of the season. Hey, in that way, izinto icabangayo ziyenzakala. Why? Because alignment, there's a resonance between heaven and earth. La ngaphakathi kuwena. Hey, there's harmony. Ujehuti has harmonized between the conscious and the subconscious. Hey, so please ngiyacela, let's engage and the lento siyithathe serious because we are rebuilding a nation. Hey, with zero budget, Ibhlungu lento, because you would never find a Majuda in this position. You would never find a Machina in this position. Leadership yabo, this is what they prioritize. To be Chinese or to be Jews. Huh? It's very important to them. Anything that says Chinese, they support 300%. Manje thina sibulawa indlala whilst teaching the nation. Bakuvalela hayi ukuthi abakwazi ukuthi uyaexist. They know. Bakuvala ngamabomu. Look, they are funding this useless celebration near Christmas. Millions have gone into funding Christmas. When it comes to our Christmas in June, nothing happens. When it comes to our New Year in September, nothing happens. And then Nakona, you can't blame them because they are ignorant of this. Abayitholanga from these Western, fashioned institutions. Lama University abelungu. Hey, maybe ba decolonize, ba shintsha njipende, ba shintshe ne professor. But the fruit is the same. Ungelephi lo professor. Ngoba ungele kubo. They need to go out of the, that, structure. if they want to decolonize, because it's about the content. The youth is crying about the content, not if face change le university. It was a yellow by faga red. Baleti professor mambuga na lo muntu lo. Colonize like an. Hey, so angcese ngifeza. Thokoza siyabonga.
Another one. Wow, thank you so much, Mkhulu. I think today what I had to understand was the gift you have given us is the gift of freedom. You know, when you listen to him, you become free. Because we have lived a life of not knowing, a life of pain, a life of doubt. And we have been into these places searching and seeking until you meet Mkhulu Nsingiza and you become liberated and you know exactly the truth that you are spiritual being. Keep on educating us. We hear you. We really hear you. That's why we are always here. You know, I always believe that when you touch one soul, you embrace a million. Because you are never alone. There is a billion that is always around you. In fact, I always preach a lot about kindness because you'll never know in my next lifetime, you might be my mother. You know, that is why we must always be so kind. Don't die. And the next thing, it's difficult for you to be heard again. Let's always see beyond what we are. Thank you so much, Mkhulu. And again, I love, when you were talking, I thought of Uzinzi. She loved to talk about spiritual currency, which is your self-worth. You must know what you're worth. And that is the research. Mkhulu preaches and teaches us this. But you have to go and meditate and find your own answers. And then you come back and then you ask questions. Let's research more. You know, and again, Mkhulu said we don't need food, so I guess we can just give that to charity. You just said it. That's we're colonized to think we need food before the violation. We're gonna break for lunch. As you can see, my kitchen is busy saying when's we are ready. So we're gonna break, and then when we come back, it's entertainment. That is now we're celebrating in Ndlovukazi Uzinzi. Yes, we're gonna break because they are really now, they are ready for us. Before the food, wait, just a second. Before we do that, you know, today I look so beautiful. There is a gentleman here, Ulonwabo, my artwear made me look so good. Guys, he is on Facebook, he is even on Instagram. My art.wear. I think it's right at my back. Yeah. You know, let's support our entrepreneurs. And again, it's a movement that we support, which brings the unity. Let's visit the page and make sure we support him. So Masbuya. Yes, Mkhulu.
Bengicela nje ukwenza kanje. Uyazi abo mama basebenze ubusuku bonke beprepare. So ngicela ukubonga ubuthuli but they're still preparing. Angicela ukubabonga nawe Madlomo uhambe la ekseni Nkosi yami, you know, sengisaba nokuthi uzofika right na ekhaya, but your sacrifice, you know, siyayifila, siyayibonga, you know. Nkosana uboloku ugijima the whole week. You know, uhlanganisa lokhu nalokhu. These are things khona omunye ke usifiso. Usifiso ke yena. Thokoza siyabonga khehle. Siyabonga kakhulu. Thokozani Ndlovukazi. Siyabonga. Nangu nompho. Umpho uyathi mekeqala ingoma asishiye. Ayiqale bese kuyabaleka. but siyabonga khehla naye unhlanhla ke yena ufike la ekseni kwenza kayala nje coincidence la sithi siyaphuma khona silanda imbuzi hawunanga unhlanhla uyaphaka la imvula yathi ngathi hayi idlozi livumile siyabonga khehla yahlupha sometimes but ngiyamtolerate because akekho umuntu la ngaphakathi emagcekeni owenza into ngenhliziyo enhle aka complain yonke into esimcela siyabonga khehla wazi nje ukuthi ma art wazi nje ukuthi na indlovukazi beyikwazi ukuthi mawuthinte something yonke into ihamba kahle siyabonga kakhulu khehla thokozini.
Right, thank you Mkhulu. So we're gonna break, I guess, for an hour, and then we come back. So the time now is okay, and then my phone goes blank. 13:53. So let's say 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then we start entertainment. And then the only people that are gonna speak are Zinzi's kids, and then they will say their happy birthdays, and I will say also a word or two. So that is what is going to happen now. Apparently food is ready. So let's have food.